Mugello, a land of beauty and tranquility. A land not yet explored by tourists to the region. Mugello strives to step into the light and emerge as a unique and well-known area of Italy. But how do they achieve this goal of recognition? The answer is through green mapping. Green mapping is a social, cultural, global movement of communities around the world that are taking responsibility and ownership of the authenticity of their communities. This is done through the map-making of sustainable businesses, culture, and the history of the various communities using both online and paper maps. These maps are then joined by others to form a global system. The Green Map system was created in the 1990s by Wendy Brower in New York City. There are currently 350 green maps around the world in 50 different countries.
The Green Map Mugello will add to that as being one of the first green maps in Italy that will help support sustainable tourism to northern Tuscany.
Several steps are taken in order to create the map.
The first step in the process is to identify locations in the region that would be sustainable. We interview the entrepreneurs or the business owners, and from that we determine their viability as a sustainable business site. We collect the data, and then we are developing web pages for each of those businesses, and those web pages will be attached to a map that will help tourism development by allowing tourists to see which businesses in that particular region support the environment, the society, and are economically viable for that community.
One of the major characteristics of the Green Map system is the use of universal icons that identify those businesses and destinations that are sustainable. Using local products, hiring community members, and preserving wildlife are just a few of the sustainable traits practiced by these businesses. The icons added to the Green Map then become tourist attractions which highlight the history, art, environment, agritourism, and culture of the region.
Basically, the way it is now, Mugello has some wonderful tourist attractions. They have the Medici homes, they have wonderful art, they have beautiful vineyards since they are in the Tuscany region. But the basic problem is they have been competing with Florence, trying to get tourists to come to the area to visit the sites, the architectural sites, the art sites. It was quite clear that the strength that they have is a getting away from time from Florence.
Mugello, located just a short distance north of Florence, offers various sites that have the potential to attract many tourists.
Noi ci aspettiamo che essere controllati, visti.
We expect being seen from outside will help us to understand our strengths and weaknesses, our limits, the opportunities for growth, and overall, by the experience of the Green Map, we can understand how to better represent ourselves to others and give them a desire to visit us, and also to invest in us so we can develop. We are a place that in history has always been a meeting place, a place of contact, and we hope this opportunity can continue the meetings and experiences in the growth of contacts.
Questa opportunità continui negli incontri, nelle esperienze, nella crescita di conoscenza.
Borgo San Lorenzo, Scarparia, Vicchio, Marari, Palazzuolo, Barberino, San Piero a Seve, Firenzuola, Vaglia. These 9 areas make up the Mugello region, each contributing their own unique characteristics towards the Green Map. Mugello, dating back before the Romans, has a rich and interesting history. Many of the sites found on the Green Map represent different eras of Mugello's past. St. Agatha Church, located in Scarparia, exemplifies the impact religion has had in the region. It was built in the 11th century and is still one of the most important sacred structures in all Mugello. In Vaglia, the convent of Montesenario also exhibits the region's deep religious history. Through the Mugello Green Map, tourists can view information on how the convent was built in the 13th century by the 7 founding fathers of the Servite order. Jumping ahead to the 1400s, the Palace of Vicari holds major significance in Scarparia and is an important site on the green map.
The most important place is the Palazzo dei Vicari, where the local governmental party was sent by the Florentine government, and it represents itself as an elegant presence of the medieval time. It is a small palace of a miniature Florence. On the inside of the Palazzo dei Vicari is the Knife Museum that documents all the historical activities of the knives of Scarparia. Cutlery is a centuries-old activity because from the 1400s, Scarparia is known in all the world for its production of knives, scissors, blades, and other cutlery. Therefore, all these artisanal things are documented in this museum.
Borgo San Lorenzo represents the farming community of Mugello. In the 1800s, the region consisted primarily of peasant farmers. The museum Case di Arci displays the daily lives of these farmers through the various tools and artifacts they contain. Moving north on the green map, tourists can find the Animosi Theater, located in Maradi. Dating back to the late 1700s, this theater brushes on the artistic styles of the area. Art has always been an important characteristic of the Mugello region and has played important roles in the building of various structures. How would such places be represented on the green map? Let's take a look at the Medici Castle, Cafaggiolo in Barberino. If a tourist wanted to find an artistic location in Mugello, they could use the services of the online map. First, they would choose an area in the Mugello, in this case, Barberino. Next, they would select an icon that interests them, such as this Medici Castle. Once selected, the icon's page gives various information on the attraction. Such information includes directions, nearby airports, historical facts, and sustainable features. For the Cafaggiolo Castle, tourists can learn about its paintings, decor, and various tours. Another artistic landmark in Mugello, represented by the green map, is the Museum of Beato Angelico in Vicchio. This museum displays sacred works of art and religious beliefs that have been collected over the years from various churches throughout the area. The convent Bocco al Frati in San Piero a Seve also houses various religious artwork. It contains many crosses, dalmatics, and other sacred artifacts, with Donatello's Dying Christ the most famous piece. One of the most remarkable sites on the green map is the park in Vaglia, Via Demidoff. This location features the remains of the colossal Renaissance statue fountain of Apennino. The park is also home to various statues and highlights the natural beauty of the area.
Tourism has only really, in this region, has only really caught on, we'd say, from the 60s and 70s, which really is part of the fascination of this area. It is a bit off the beaten track. Everyone knows Florence, of course, and Bologna, but people don't know the natural beauty of this area.
The environment becomes a major part of Mugello as the green map features sustainable tourism. Sustainable tourism supports not only the local economy, but also the local society and environment.
Traditionally, tourism has been mainly for economic reasons, but through sustainable tourism, we're looking for an opportunity to support those destinations and the beauty that exists there, as opposed to destroying the reasons that the tourism destination became popular to begin with.
What we were hoping to do would be to encourage the Mugello not only to keep the Medici and other architectural part of their existence, but also to stress the nature part.
One of the largest natural features found on the Mugello green map is Lake Bilancino in Barberino. It provides various recreational activities for tourists while acting as a sustainable site. Connected to the lake is the Gabbianello Oasis, which preserves the marshes of the area. Through its observatories, signs, and walking paths, the oasis teaches small groups of tourists about the nature of the area.
The original project is to create sustainable tourism. So we don't want high number of tourists, but we have a sort of fidelity tourism.
It is not geared at this point to large groups of individuals, which is a strength. Our stress on the green mapping would be to take their resources that are currently underrepresented and try to expand those.
One such resource is the Camaggiore, located in Firenzuola. This swimming hole is very secluded and difficult for tourists to find. However, the green map helps explain where it is located and what it has to offer. With this information, the Camaggiore has the opportunity to expand into a larger tourist attraction while maintaining its natural and pristine appearance. As tourism further develops in the Mugello region, there's a greater demand for natural products and sustainable accommodations. The green map informs tourists of the goods and services available in the area.
Per questo il green mapping credo sia una.
In regards to green mapping, there is a need to develop more tourism in the area. It is important to communicate the specialties we have to offer. Green mapping would be a mode for us to communicate and better explain what we have to offer.
Per comunicare il nostro valore e la nostra specificità.
In Borgo San Lorenzo, the AZACR Vacchiati is a local farm that raises and milks cattle to produce a variety of dairy products for the area. Tours of the farm and milking process explain how the cattle are free of bovine growth hormones, leaving the milk all natural.
They have unadulterated products. They don't want to add a lot of things to it. They want purity of it. And they talk about sustainable agriculture, buying local, cooking food from scratch and not going to the grocery store and buying processed products all the time, and not putting things in to extend the shelf life, but let it be more natural.
Many local farms in Mugello also play an important role in the agritourism of the area. The Agriturismo San Vital of Borgo San Lorenzo is a small organic farm with bed and breakfast-like accommodations for tourists. The farm also produces a variety of goods, including various honeys and jams, which are not only used in the guest's meal, but are also locally distributed. One prominent agricultural business that can be found on the green map is Il Forteto, located in Mugello. Through farming, breeding Chianina cattle for Florentine steaks, and even creating cheese, they provide an abundance of goods for the local community.
Principally, the cooperative was born as a social organization to help children and even adults in need. This is something we've always done and continue to do, and we participate in economic activities such as creating the cheese factory and then selling our products directly, and therefore the creation of our store. The products are ours and of our associates that entrust us to sell their products.
Il Forteto also has an agriturismo created from a reconstructed building. It houses both tourists and local citizens. Palazzuolo lies in the northern section of the Mugello green map and also holds many agritourism sites. One such attraction is the Agriturismo La Penare. Located atop a mountain, this agriturismo offers breathtaking scenery, swimming, and friendly companions. The features of agritourism in the region exemplify the great hospitality found in Mugello. Green mapping represents an area's culture not only through its locations, but through its activities as well. For the Mugello Green Map, one such activity is the annual Bread Festival in Maradi. Taking place in late May, this festival attracts many tourists. After riding on the specially restored Epiphany steam engine, visitors are welcomed by the Maradi Band. Spectators follow the band, marching through town in an exciting parade that leads to the main square. Here, the mayor addresses the community and launches off the festival. A wide variety of animals, farm equipment, and especially bread are displayed and sold at the festival. By finding this event on the green map, tourists can experience the historic culture of Mugello firsthand. The modern culture of the region is represented through the International Autodrome of Mugello, located in Scarparia. Established in the 1970s, this track hosts Formula One tests and trials for the World Motorbike and World Superbike Championships. It is also used for the Italian Grand Prix, which attracts a tremendous amount of tourists. Being part of the Mugello Green Map, the Autodrome has the potential to attract even more tourists interested in these events. The Green Map of Mugello will greatly help tourism to develop in the area. However, through the process, many obstacles may slow down their progress.
The biggest challenge was getting the Italian translations and also explaining what green map systems means or potentially means to them.
I think for this area and other areas of Italy it would be a good step forward, as long as everybody knows here what it's about, because a lot of them were unaware or it was unclear as to exactly what green mapping is.
As the green map becomes known to the world, the tourist population in Mugello will increase. Will Mugello be able to sustain such population shifts?
With the increase in tourism that may occur, there will be a need for the government to work with the local entrepreneurs and provide alternatives for transportation and help develop the infrastructure.
Despite such obstacles, the Green Map will help develop the economy of Mugello, making a positive impact for the region. Although so many changes may occur, the unique experience that Mugello offers is never-ending.
Tourism in this area is a really specific kind of tourism because it gives you a certain kind of experience, an experience in the countryside, kind of isolated from a city. You can get to a city by train, but it really is a particular experience. So for people who want that kind of experience and maybe don't know about this region, I think by putting all of this information up on the green map, we can really open up a whole nother world to them.
Through green mapping, Mugello may finally gain the recognition they have so long been waiting for.